Blessings, everyone. Welcome to your Oracle for the week. It's very exciting to have this amazing space to be able to share a deeper reading of your Oracle cards. And I love Oracle cards for so many reasons. Obviously, my tarot is my best friend. However, we have amazing Oracle cards as well that offer that daily guidance. You're welcome to jump into the free 5-day challenge reading with me for 5 days. It helps formulate that habit of that daily guidance from your spirit guides, higher self, source energy, God, whoever it is that you're wanting to connect in with. I teach you how to really connect and be able to pull those cards that you need for that day. So you are welcome to join me. You don't need Oracle cards for that. I am pulling cards for you each day. And it's just very similar to this, card 1, 2, or 3, but I'm actually teaching as we go so that you can apply it to your own world once we stop the 5 days so that you can continue on with your daily guidance. Now, this particular deck today is the amazing Beyond Lemuria deck. It's one that I like to travel with, and yes, I have a couple that I travel with, but this particular one is something that I often take to Bali with me because, you know, it's just so aligned and so perfect for Bali. And it's that Lemuria energy. It's something that I get a lot from. The artwork of these are profound, and I feel that they hold so many beautiful codes. So thinking about card 1, 2, or 3, today we're jumping into beautiful messaging that you obviously need to hear right now. So let's just jump straight in, yeah? Card number 1. Card number 1 is the root chakra. So this is ground and center. If you got card number 1 today, you're being called to have a look at the stability in your life. Now that can be your home environment, or it can be your physical energy. You're often being asked to go and ground and be within your own energy, anchoring down into Mother Gaia, coming back down into the soul of the earth, and really connecting with nature. This may be your sign to take your shoes off and go stand in the grass. If it's freezing where you are, maybe it's your sign to go for a little bushwalk, or go to the beach, or go and connect in, or just do an energy healing where you're really anchoring that stability in your body. If it's around your home, security, that's what the root chakra governs. So sometimes when our house feels a little bit unstable, that's where we'll feel it first, in our root chakra energy. So this particular card can also be to have a look at the stability and safety of your home, to have a look at the foundations of your life. What is it that's not holding solid right now, and where are you being called to put your energy to bring the security and safety back to that? If you are looking at home, you may be looking at clearing your home. Maybe the energy is off in your home right now. You know, I would strongly suggest that if that is the case, and you do a big clearing. There's so many different things you can place around your home that really helps continue to protect the space. I talk about that in Sacred Shield. It's a very, very cheap course. It's like cheaper than an eat out dinner. Do you know what I mean? Or a takeaway meal nowadays. It's long, like it's not long, it's an hour video. It's broken up into sections though, and there's one particular section just on your home and how to clear and cleanse, because sage and Palo Santo is brilliant if that's something that you decide to use, or even rosemary, eucalyptus, things like that. If you are more into the bush herbs, there is other things that you can do in your home that will energetically support your home continually, so you're not having to sage every single day, right? For me, I even teach you one of the basic symbols there. If your home has not had a thorough cleanse lately, I suggest start with opening the windows, setting that intention, and doing your sage smoking, Palo Santo, rosemary, whatever it is that you do to cleanse and clear your house. That might be a really good first step for you. And if that's all you need, that's all you need. You never any push from me, whatever aligns for you. Card number 2. So card number 2 is loving compassion. Now this is an interesting card. This can be twofold, very similar to this card. It could be around this or it could be around this. So the loving compassion can be, are you loving on yourself and being compassionate towards yourself? It is around forgiveness. So is there something you need to forgive and release? Is there something you need to forgive and release for somebody else? So is there a love? Are you being called to love and hold compassion for somebody else? Is there somebody that is driving you crazy and you're just like, I need time away from them? Love them from afar, send them love and light. You know, everyone's like, love and light, but actually do that. Send that to them. And maybe you need to forgive them for they're doing the best that they can. So have a feel into that. There's often, when this card comes up, a call for self-love, to really go deep within self and start to open that heart chakra and put in those beautiful self-love light coding. You know, maybe you need to really do some deep self-care right now. Maybe you need to take yourself away for a weekend, just you, and go and do a mini little retreat for yourself. Yeah, if you're in my inner circle, you've got that booklet that is perfect for you to do. We created that where it's like gives you a retreat sort of day, and I'm using that as my sacred Sundays now. So thank you everyone for asking for that in that group. The creation of the book was amazing, and it's just like, it's a small PDF. It's not like a 200-page book that I had to create, but it's beautiful. It gives you anchoring of just daily things that you can start to love yourself and honor your energy. And then there's other ways where devotion, like sacred Sundays, can be a big thing. So bringing back the devotion into yourself, as well as connecting with Goddess. It's interesting, I find when I'm disconnected from self, I'm also disconnected from spirit, which makes sense, right? But I'm not doing a lot of that devotion work. And the moment I step back into my devotion work, the moment I step back into, and I mean, I have a pretty deep devotion practice. I'm not saying that anyone needs to do the level that I do, but that's because I've been guided and I got the kick up the bottom, as you all know. If you've read my newsletters and listened to all my messages recently, I got the big kick up the bottom from Goddess for doing all the work for others, but not doing it for self. And that's a huge awakening. And so I am back in my practice, and it is the most blissful, peaceful experience of my life to actually sit in devotion with source energy, with Goddess energy. And that brings in that self-love and compassion for me too. But I wasn't doing the loving and compassion with Goddess. I was like, thank you so much for all your help and guidance, but I wasn't anchoring into that vibration and that frequency. So maybe that's what you're being called to do as well. Maybe you need to have yourself a sacred Sunday. Maybe you need to do a little retreat for yourself. Take yourself away for 2 nights. 2 nights is good. The first night to get used to sleeping in a strange bed. The second night to really be able to rest. Yeah? Take yourself and give yourself space. And if someone is driving you crazy and you need to love on them, give yourself that space that you need to love on them from afar for the moment. But forgiveness is a big thing. If we don't forgive the energy that has harmed us, we will hold resentment forever. And the only person that hurts in the end is you, because it makes you sick. You need to release it and you need to forgive. I have had clients, and I have also myself, gone through horrific things in my lifetime where people have injured me physically and emotionally in unspeakable ways. And you've probably experienced that too in some form, and mine's not worse than yours, and yours isn't worse than mine. It's all relative to your life path. But there needs to be a forgiveness. It doesn't mean you need to forget what they've done to you or trust them ever again. It just means you need to forgive that moment in time and do some work around it and let it go, because it will make you sick in your physical body. It will actually prevent you from living the joyous, loving, beautiful life. And let me say, hats off to the beautiful people that I have met in this community. There's a number of you that tune in regularly that I know has been through some horrific things in your life that I can't even imagine. Again, they're relative, and you have powered through that. And I'm just so honored to be in your space. It's time to love and absolutely connect and forgive. Card number 3. That was a big one. Card number 3. Balance forces. I love this card. I used to pick this card all the time. It's one of the ones I used to pick all the time. Okay, so balance forces is interesting. Yes, it's about balancing your energy, but not in the way you think. So yes, it can be calling to have a energy healing. It can be about balancing your chakras if you feel that what I'm about to say is in balance too. This particular card really asks us to step up and have a look at where our feminine and masculine energy is balancing out. So maybe you're finding yourself at the moment sitting in task orientation, the to-do list, the business brain. And so that means you're sitting a lot in your masculine energy. Now, if we're a female or a male, we hold both energies. We both hold them, and we want them to be balanced within us. Yes, sometimes we sit more in one than the other, depending on what we have to do or the stage of life that we're in. However, it's really important to balance both out from time to time. And if you can, live in balance. Really live in that balance. So if you know that you are actually negotiating a huge deal with another company, and so you're sitting in your masculine energy, and you're really actually having to think strategy and go deep and negotiate and communicate and do spreadsheets and all the things, that's your masculine energy. So then you need to be anchoring in time after that to get back into a feminine flow. That's where you get in touch with the emotion. That's where you're flowing. There's no time restraints. It's where you're able to give yourself space and peace. Now, the creativity energy of a business is a feminine energy. When we create, we're in a very feminine energy. We're the creators. Feminine give birth to life. And even if you choose not to have children, or your life path isn't to have children as a feminine being, you still are a creator. You still have that sacral chakra energy coming through that creates. And as a masculine energy, so if you're a male, if you're a man listening to this, the same thing. You still have creator energy within you. You still are creative in your own way. And so getting the paints out, actually flowing. You want to be in a flow of energy, be in the waters almost, yeah? And so the feminine energy is that creation part of business, when we are sitting there and we're, mind mapping things, but in divine energy where it's no pressure. It's the peace. And you see these people often come through when I do strategy meetings for business people, right? And we're sitting in there, and I will get a beautiful feminine energy come in, and they're the dreamers. They're like, oh yeah, and I want to create this membership, and I want to do this course, and I want to provide this service, and I want to do this. And I'll be like, and so what have you got currently? Where are your numbers at? And they'll be like, numbers? What do you mean by that? And I'm like, well, where's your spreadsheets? Where's your business plan? And they're like, oh, no, right? That's the feminine energy. But then the masculine energy comes in, and I'm very masculine in my business when it comes to data. I love data. Like, I have the spreadsheets. I have all the data there. And so you need to find that balance of creativity, caring and loving people and bringing them in and nurturing them and giving yourself space to be creative and feel into, that intuition part where I'm feeling into the business, right? You need to have that. But then you also need to have the numbers. You want to be successful, you still need to know the data. You need to have the action steps. You need to have a business plan. So you're being called to have a look at, if you don't have a business, you can apply this to your life. Are you someone that has all the calendars up and the to-do list and the shopping list, and you've got a cart full of shopping that you press go on a Sunday, it gets delivered on a Monday, and all the things are all arranged beautifully in the children's cupboards, and you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays outfits ready to go, and you just go and go and go and go and go, and you've got meal prep, you've got everything happening, it's all there, it's all ready, got my exercise routine down pat, I go here on a Tuesday, I do this, and you don't have space. You are still doing what we would traditionally call a female role, the household running and looking after self, but it's in a masculine energy. Where's your flow? Where's your creativity? Where's your time? Connection. Anchoring the flow throughout your day. If you are so routined and time bound, you are masculine energy. We need to support it with feminine energy. And if you are so feminine that you're like, oh, clothes, yeah, I don't think I've washed for 2 weeks. And, oh, dinner, that is going to put more pressure on yourself, right? You can be so heavily one way or the other. Where you want to meet is in the middle there, where you've got your to-do list, you've got your goals, your aspirations, you've got time-bound tasks, but then you've got space. You've got space to create, you've got space to think and daydream, you've got space to read a book. You need to have the balance. So this is what this card's asking you to do. You need to bring the balance back. And I think this card, regardless if you pick card 3 or not, hopefully that little lesson I've just given you on a masculine and feminine energy, which I think I go really deeply into Deepen Spirituality, that program that I run, so you've probably just got a whole recap of that, is really vital, because if we sit too much in one or the other, we don't hold the codes of both, and so we're not balanced, and we can't bring in all the things that are in alignment for us because we're not aligned. And one is not better than the other. Not at all. You can't say the feminine's better than the masculine energy. You need both to bring in your abundance, to bring in your worth, to bring in your journey. We came with both. We need to have both. Because if we're so far left field or so far right field, then we're not fully anchoring into our soul purpose. I hope that you have loved this reading this week. I cannot wait to hear from you, to hear what you received. I'd love you to share with your friends below and say, hey everyone, this is what I got this week. What did you get? Yeah? Sending you all so much love. I welcome you into the inner circle. I welcome you into 5-day card reading. I welcome you into maybe deepening spirituality if you want to go deeper into the energy side of things. Love you all. So much gratitude for you all. Have a brilliant week. See you here on Sunday or Saturday, depending on where you live, for your tarot reading.